Hello everyone, I hope you're having a great day. In today's video, we're going to be using 2.5-inch squares and some chips that measure 2.5 by 4.5. And what I've decided to do is I had a selection of black and white, and these are all over the place type of designs. I got them in a fabric exchange, so I decided it'd be fun to try and use them up in a really fun way. So for each block, what you're going to need are 4 2.5-inch squares, and you need to sew them end to end. So like this, in no particular order. This is random. And using assortment will just add a bunch of fun to the finished block. So I've gone ahead and done another one, and this is what it looks like. And you can either press them to the side or you can press them open. I leave that up to you. So I am just going to be showing you how to make one block and then how we lay them all out. So putting these 4 2.5-inch squares aside for now. Next, we're going to take any 3 of the chips and we're going to sew those end to end like that. And again, I'm showing you per block. And then we're also going to take 2 and sew them end to end like that. So taking the 2 potato chips that have been joined together, we're now going to add the 4 squares that were also joined together and join them with a 1/4 inch seam. So now with this being done, this should measure 4.5 by 8.5. It would be a good opportunity to square it up if you like to do that for accuracy. And I have pressed all the seams to one side, and I am using a starch pen. It just helps keep things a bit flatter. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 more of the chips, and I'll add one on one end and one on the other. So this part of the block will now measure 4.5 by 12.5. And if you haven't seen this in my old videos, this is what I use. After I apply heat, I put this down, and this is to help dissipate the extra heat and help keep the block flat. This is just from a dollar store. I think I paid $2 Canadian for it. It's made out of bamboo. It's not too heavy, so I do take it on retreats with me. And for starch pens, I have a couple that I use. This is a watercolor marker that I bought at a local store. So it's got tips like that, and all you do is it's a mixture of liquid starch with water, and you just paint it like that, press it with your fingers, and then apply an iron on it. And then I also have a purposely made, this I think is by Clover, and it's got like a felt tip, so you prime it so that the liquid's coming out, and you draw along the seam, you press it, and then you always just put your iron down. You don't go like this at all, and this helps to keep all the seams flat. I also have a name brand Acorn one, which works as well, but I really like the Clover one the best. I'm not getting paid by anyone, I'm just sharing my tips with you. So now the last part of this block is to take the unit that has the 3 pieced together, and we're now going to add it on this other side like that. So here's the block completed, and it is now measuring 12.5 by 6.5. My original thought was to take 2 of them and join them together like that. But then when I had them up on my design wall, they're starting to look really busy. My husband, who also helps me sometimes figure things out, said he liked them like this, but I think they're just going to be a little bit too wild. So I played around with some scraps of 2.5-inch squares, and I don't know if I can get this in tight enough for you to see. That might work better. So by moving these out, I started playing around with colors. These are scraps, so they're not all pressed. I thought, well, putting a gray in between, but that starts making some of these other background colors look muddy. And then I thought of a nice green color like this, but then that starts fighting with some of the other tones that are in some of the other blocks. I thought about a white or off-white, but then depending on who the recipient is, it might be hard to keep this clean. I tend to go to a lighter background. Sometimes I have to be careful about that. I thought about a darker color of green, which I like a lot, but unfortunately I don't have enough to do what I want to do, so I put that aside. I thought about a darker, like not a flat black, but a black that has some sort of pattern in it, almost like a grunge. And then, excuse me, I found that I had some yellow strips, and they are the perfect length. So how about that? So they were a bit wider, so I've trimmed them to 2.5 inches wide. So that's how the block will look. So I'm going to make 4 of those, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to join them together. And just adding, when I am joining these, it doesn't matter because there is a piece in between. But if you did decide to do it this way, because maybe you've decided to use solids here, it does work to avoid a bunch of seams having to match up if you have the 3 against the 2 and the ends, and by magic there's no seams. So I'm going to go ahead and pair these up, and I'll join you back here. I've now got all the blocks done. Isn't this cat really cute? So you can fussy cut different shapes in there if you want. These are now measuring 14.5 by 12.5 unfinished. So just quickly going through. So they are an assortment of different colorways. And I think the yellow does help make some of the duller fabric pop. And it works really well with the black and white. So let's go over to the design wall. So here I am on my design wall, and for ease of construction, you could easily lay it out with having sashing going both directions and then adding a nice border around it. The challenge with that is with the vertical stripes, you would need to make sure they match up when you join them, but I have another idea. So this is what I'm thinking of doing, is by adding a 2.5 inch piece of darker fabric. It'll probably be a grunge or something like that, or a dark gray, to the bottom of each unit. And by turning them, alternating, then you get this unique pattern. And then I'll probably add a wider border going around on the outside. You could certainly add some more panels going on each side and down to give you more of a vertical format if you want. So let me know, what do you think? Or do you think other colors should be in the center here? You could actually put a 4 patch in there as well, but I'm trying to keep this simple. So this is, I think, what I'm going to settle on. What do you think? So I will show you once I've got this all sewn together, and I'll join you back here. Just quickly showing you by adding the strip on the bottom, which is 2.5 inches, and with the yellow that's in the center, this is now measuring 14.5 inches unfinished. So now I'll join the 4 together, and then I'll show you what it looks like on the design wall. Here it is all done. It's currently measured 28.5 inches unfinished, and it's very easy to add on extra sections, each being 14.5 inches unfinished. So by adding on the width and the depth, you'll easily have a vertical format quilt if that's what you're looking for. I really appreciate your comments and your feedback. It's just been amazing. So until next time, please like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Sew safely and sew with Debee. Have a great day, and bye for now.